Hello students, in this section we are going to see about integration and testing of hardware and firmware of embedded system. Integration and testing of embedded hardware and firmware is the immediate step after the embedded hardware and software developed. Once the hardware and software is developed, the final hardware is the PCB board with all the necessary components, and the firmware is the control algorithms and required configurations. And this hardware and software should be tested independently for their proper functioning. Without the firmware, the hardware is a dumb device and it cannot function properly. So we have to embed the firmware into the target board of the hardware. Embedding the firmware into the target hardware board is known as embedding intelligent to the product. There are a variety of techniques to embed the firmware into the target board. We will discuss about few techniques. First one is out of circuit programming. In this out of circuit programming, it is performed outside the target board. Means the processor or the chip in which the firmware need to be loaded will be taken out from the target board, and it will be programmed through the help of programming device. The programming device is the independent unit which has all the hardware circuits for producing the signals, control signals, and also it is having some one zip socket with a locking pin. This programming device will be connected with the PC for the functioning. We'll see the connection. This is PC. This is a programming device where we have a chip socket where we need to connect the program which we want, where we want to connect the processor or memory chip which we need to be programmed. Then this PC and the programming devices are connected through RS-232 or USB cable. Now we'll see the sequence of operation for embedding the firmware into the hardware. First, we have to connect the programming device to the PC through the port, any of the port like USB port, parallel port, or COM port, anything. Next, we have to check the connectivity. If there is any problem with the connectivity, then we have to reconnect it. Next, we can power off the device. The third one is we have to execute the program utility which is running on the PC. Next, unlock the SIP socket by turning the lock pin. After turning on the SIP socket, we can insert the device. We can insert the memory device which where we need to load the program firmware. Then after inserting that, we have to lock the SIP socket. Then we have to select the device from the list of supported devices, and then we can load the hex file from the PC to SIP socket. By clicking we have one option program we have one program option in the utility program. By clicking on, we can load the hex file into the memory chip. We have to wait till the completion of programming, then we can unlock the zip socket and take the device out of the programmer. But this technique is used for the level application, embedded applications, in which there is no use of operating system. Next is in system programming. In system programming, it is used for the firmware integration or into the hardware, in which where we will not take the memory chip out from the target board. The only thing is the device should have ISP support. Other than the PC, other than this embedded hardware board, this technique needs PC, ISP cable, ISP utility, everything. Here also, the programming device should be connected with the program on the PC, in which the utility program will be running on that. In order to achieve this ISP operation, we have to power up the target board by using a special mode called ISP mode. This ISP mode will be available in all the ISP supported hardware board. This mode will support the device to communicate with the host device through the serial interface. Through this serial interface, we can load the hex file, means which we need to loaded into the hardware device. And through this serial interface, we can send commands also like erase the program, reload the reload the program, reprogram it. All the commands also we can send through the serial port. And the communication between the target device and ISP is a serial format because we are using a serial interface only. Next, third one is in-application programming. In-application programming is technique. This technique is used by the firmware which is running on the hardware board for modifying a selected portion of the code memory. But this technique is not used for loading the firmware into the hardware for the first time. This is used only to modify the portion of the code memory under the control of embedded application. Next one is use of factory programmed chip. It is possible to embed the firmware into the target processor or controller memory during the fabrication of chip itself. These type of chips are called factory programmed chip. Factory programmed chip. So once the firmware is designed and it is tested, the firmware files can be sent to the chip fabricator. So he can load this into the target processor or controller code memory. But this technique is not recommended for the applications where we want to change the software frequently. And also this is a little bit expensive. And next one is firmware loading for operating system based devices. This is used normally OS based embedded system are programmed using ISP only. This technique, which other devices are using this technique are also having one piece of code called bootloader. It takes the control of the operating system and application firmware embedding and copying the operating system image to the RAM of the system for execution. This bootloader for such embedded applications comes as preloaded or it can be loaded to the memory using the various interfacing supported like JTAG. Thank you.